Let's do it. All right. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Happy July 12th. We're live streaming. How are you doing today, Michael?
Doing great. It is early here in the great Grand Canyon State. We have a surprise too, where Jason will be waking up early at some point and joining me in this race time. But I'm doing great. It is a hot time out here in Arizona. I know some other folks are dealing with the heat. I think yesterday was 111 here. So yeah, one of those days where you just got to double water your plants. Not really so much inside, but outside.
It's 80 and sunny here. So
yeah, I bet you don't miss this.
I don't miss that at all. But for those who joined us early, we're having a little lively discussion about stream decks and donuts and coffee and all sorts of fun things as we normally do here. And before we get to today's topic, I got a couple announcements. Number one that I didn't know, those of you who are teaching XCon, your rough draft of your presentation is due today. So please join me after MCR and cramming to get that done really, really quick. XCon is the Bluebeam Extreme Conference coming up August 23rd and 24th in San Diego, California. And myself, Michael, DJ CJ, and some other ATG folks will all be there. High fives, coffees, handshakes, and learning about all things Bluebeam, just like we like to do here on Morning Coffee Review. Second of all, today is July 12th. It is officially the opening day for registration for Autodesk University. So if you are interested in going to New Orleans, the NOLA, the Dirty South, whatever.
Are you going to be going to that?
I don't know yet. It's New Orleans at the end of September. The Autodesk University is going to be pretty awesome, and it'd be nice to have everybody in person again. First time they've done it since 2019. So there is that. So two good in-person conferences. The Esri conference is going on this week in San Diego. So I know we've got.
You're not there?
We got a couple of TG folks there.
Okay. Mr. Artley's not there.
I'm not there. Beth, you signed up for what? For AU or for XCon? AU? All right. She's going to be at both. This is fantastic. So yeah, we're hoping.
Isn't Beth teaching at both? Well, she's not. She's teaching at AU.
You're teaching at AU, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So yeah, good stuff all around. Conferences, learning, sharing. That's what we do here. And today's topic is somewhat related to something that Doug's going to be teaching at XCon, but we're not going to give away all his secrets. We're going to talk about something else that is come up from some support requests that we've been getting. And we're going to be getting into the markups list and looking at columns, custom columns, and what the heck does that button do? That type of thing. So we've done similar things, but I don't know if we've covered this in the same detail that we have today. What do you think?
What do I think? I don't know. I'm waiting for you to show me what you have in store, because I forget what I covered last time.
I forget what I covered yesterday. So that's nothing new. But in our markups list down at the bottom, we have a number of columns that we can configure. We can change the order of. We can do different things with our status I. We can configure these, and there's some confusion that happens where, how come I open up this PDF and my stuff looks like this, but if I open up this PDF, it looks like that? Well, your columns actually follow the PDF and they can follow the profile. There's a little bit of a hierarchy there. Some of these are in a different order when I switch back and forth. Some of these have different names. Why is all of this? Why isn't this consistent every time I open my screen? Which is funny, because we were just sort of complaining about that. I was sort of complaining that when I open up Zoom, all my windows and attendees and Q&A panels aren't in the same place every time. So we're tying the room back together here. So with that, let's take a look at what I've got here. And I was sort of looking for a better data set to use this with, but usually it's more fun I suppose, to do something in the takeoff realm or quantity markup realm, where you can start adding some more custom columns, and we'll start making some here in a little bit. But in this data set, I've got, it's an electrical plan, I guess. I'm not an electrical specialist here, but I ran a visual search for some of these symbols. So here I've got my TV cameras, or TV, I'm guessing, not just a camera. I did a visual search for TVs, and I applied a count measurement to them. And then we see them down here in the markups list. So here I've got 10 TV connections. So if you haven't seen a visual search, let's run that real quick. I think there's probably something else I can search for in here. I don't think I got it all. Should we try that little triangle thing? For these guys. Let's run it.
The only issue with running with some of those is that the lines, but yeah.
Oh, look, there's a TV it didn't find. That's weird.
How do you resume the count if you don't find it?
Do the data connection. Ooh. Like, I know what that means. Resume the count. Got to go down here and then a right click. No. Resume count. Now I can go back to my resume count tool. Go find those things again. There's that one. How come it didn't change to 11 yet, though? No. Weird.
There you go.
But now I can't. Oh, it's a stupid mouse, not a review.
Yeah, you see, you do one of two ways. You can go from the markups list. I'm assuming the markups list probably is where Jason went, just because they're all the same checks, but different subjects for each check. So resuming a count from an existing one, you just have to make sure you're over the right one before you resume it from a different segment. Exactly.
So yeah, in my visual search, it didn't get all of the TVs. It just got most of them. So I did a resume count by right clicking. There are a couple of different ways to do it. And then my mouse periodically loses the ability to scroll. I have to turn it on and off again. So then I got confused, but I think I got them all now. Oh, it's like, where's Waldo this morning? And I won't be super accurate at this, but I'll hit enter. Whoa. I never stopped my thing. Why did it give me two different counts? Weird.
So let me know when you want me to field you some questions, Mr. Artley.
Never. I'm scared.
So here's one. Chris wants to know how you remove one.
That's a fine question. And that David's question is even better, because that's what I was trying to figure out. So how do we remove a count? So let me back up. When I did visual search, I went in here. Oh, come here, camera. Got a rectangle, went around something, and I don't have much that's open. I know this isn't going to work very well, but we'll try it anyway. This is going to be really tough. But you go for a symbol, and then you search. Don't use the current document. Search for current page. It'll save you some time. But if I search this might not work out well because these lines coming off. It's looking for an exact match. And I didn't do a good job grabbing those. So I found 14 of them. So here I can go through, verify them. But if I go up to the top, I can select them all. And then if I pull this down, I have the ability to apply a count measurement. So here I can go in here and grab a check mark, right? Or if I would have done my symbols a little better or customized my markup, my tool chest, all these would show up here. But I can just apply a check mark, put it on that quad. Thank you, Sheldon. I totally know what that is. It's a quad outlet thingy, a four banger is what I would call it. So it went and found those. Cool. Well, maybe it made a liar out of me. Did it get this one over here? No, it did not. But I can dismisses. It found a handful of them. And down here in my markups list, it's going to say it's a count measurement, right? I didn't tell it that it was a quad. I'm going to do that now because I'm going to just wipe this out and call that a quad outlet. That's what it's going to be. So I have electro outlets. I have quad outlets. So couple questions. Is it possible to merge counts? This is what I wanted to do. I did a resume count because I had run the visual search. It didn't find all of them. I right-clicked on the thing down at the bottom. I could have right-clicked here on the check mark and done resume count right here. When I did that resume count for my TVs, it actually gave me 2 down here. And I don't fully understand why it gave me 2 different ones. They are merged here because they're included in the totals, but I can't get these together, right? There's no way to. There is a way.
Yeah.
There is a way. Look at that.
I was waiting for you to ask.
No, David asked that question. And I was like, I wasn't sure. I was
waiting for you to ask me how you do it.
I thought I'd seen it somewhere, but when in doubt, just start right-clicking on stuff.
So yeah, you can resume counts, you can remove counts. Someone asked a question about using different symbols. It's completely up to you. Just be aware you'll confuse yourself if you don't use a different symbol visually, but your data will all live down in the markups list either way. So if you are using a different symbol visually, right, you may be confused because they all look the same and you don't know what you're counting. In terms of the itemized list below, that's why you have different symbols for different items. Heck, you can even go through and take a symbol, snapshot it, change the color, and then use that as your count if you wanted to, and create it into a count. But yes, you can merge, you can resume, you can remove. Counts can be per document or per page too.
And I thought, didn't we do a whole episode about this? Or we've teased about it a bunch of times, but that merge counts thing, I don't know if I just learned that or if I forgot about it or what, but I'm glad that it worked out for the right click. And I'm glad that somebody hadn't seen that before. So there we go. That's what we're here for. Let's get under the hood and start messing around and learn together. That is all fun. That's why we do what we do. All right.
So you can get count per spaces. So depending on how you want to itemize your information, you'll create spaces. I forget who did the overall, but I like to do it where you have an overall space because you can have spaces within a space. And this isn't like the movie Inception, but you can have a space, which is your header space, so that you can say what page it's on or what level of the building, right? So my instance wouldn't be for count specific. The instance that I'm talking to is a punch list. So you say, hey, there's issues at level 1. And then below that, you could have a second segment picked up an L. And you can remove one too, but yeah, so that deleted all of them instead of the single one. But yeah, so you had that Control Z. If you delete, right click, see how it says delete from group? That's the single one, not the whole group. Sorry, I just hit my screen. Going through and having a space within a space, because then you have like the level, and then from there you can have the room that it's residing into.
All right. Oh, I messed that up.
I like rectangles.
I know. I was trying to get a nice clean rectangle here. So there's my level 2 space.
Yeah. And then Inception. So when another space falls within another space, it picks up that hierarchy of a child space. So Jason, go and put in the space, man.
I'm trying to find an easy one. This room's crazy. If only I had followed your advice on LinkedIn about using dynamic fill to create spaces. Oh boy.
Thank you, sir.
Here we go. Let's just do this one. Let's do this one.
That's an oldie video. So I saw that, some folks don't see the videos that you do post sometimes, and you can always reuse your content. So I didn't have time to make a video because we are busy. So if anyone, by the way, wants to join Mr. Artley and myself. On this side of the industry, we do have positions open. So here it is. See, yeah, he has level 2. So it'll say level 2 in the space, and then conference 265. Man, it's early.
Start chugging that coffee. And up here, we just see the name of the PDF. So the PDF doesn't always tell you that it's electrical plan level 2. We put a space within a space to, again, tie everything together, because now in the markups list, you're going to see a space. Or are you? Count area. Oh my God, did we just fall back on track? We did. There it is. So here is our space. Well, I want this over here. Ta-da.
How'd you do that though?
You just drag, like magic. You click and drag. You take what you want, you put it where you want. It's
okay.
I don't remember what I did. I just did things. Left click and drag. Seen that little tiny white triangle right there? Oh, there it is. Oh, it's back over here now. That will drag it to where you want it to go. So if I want to put this over here, follow the little white triangle, and ta-da, it will show before that one.
And then show them if the organized from the space too. So it sorts it. Yeah, because that I like the breakout there, because then you can see, expect for those people in estimating, it's probably going to be magical for you. I'm thinking more in terms of a punch list. I'm going out to the field to itemize things that need to be addressed. And this can tell me, right? So level 2, conference 265, I have 4 issues. He has 4 counts in there. But you could do this for an itemized list of going through a cost estimating. Well, what is in that room, right? So now I have triangle thingy, quad outlet, TV connection, and electrical outlets that need to be assigned and purchased for that specific room.
Does that answer your question, David? If you put it in left position, does it sort by space as the first item? Yep. It sure does. So this is, again, it adds a ton of detail, and it didn't take that much time, right, to do your spaces. They're so incredibly powerful, because yeah, if we were doing a punch list, or we were doing, having to go fix something, or if we were just, hammering down our counts, and I know exactly where this is, right, and being able to get in there and see where these items are, where it is that I need to focus my attention. And that's just half the things you can do with space, right? We can create our snapshots, we can create our areas, we can create details. There's a ton. So always a good time.
Yeah, let me go back to the chat. So Doug saying layers with spaces is great. I couldn't agree more. Grouping makes a ton of sense. New find. David had a new find of the good old delete from the group, the single one. The only thing with the single group, just make sure when you're in the group, because you can select from the group. If you select the group, you can repick a new node. It's whatever. So if you go to account group, Jason, can you go and select account group? A grouping of counts on the PDF. Sorry.
Grouping of counts on the PDF.
So just select one of the items in the group. So you'll see this. Hold on. Can you move your markups list down so you can see a couple of them? So it grabs all the nodes of that sequence of groups. So grab that thing to the right, because that has 2 right next to each other. And then are those different? There it is. Okay, so you can see it down here. So you see the green node and the yellow node on those markups. So that's in the same sequence of groups. So down below on the opposite side, there's a green node. So right where your mouse is, move it up a little bit to left.
I see no green. Am I losing my mind?
So
hang on. Coffee infusion.
So right here, this is green. That's yellow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's which one you've selected is going to be deleted. So if there's like 10 here, you'll have 9 green nodes, 1 yellow one, and you can just switch between the 2, which one is supposed to be deleted by clicking the node. Does that make sense?
Weird.
So
never seen that before.
Yeah, the node is the important one. Just click through which one you meant to have deleted. And then when you right click, and I'm no longer controlling. Sorry.
That was
I
weird.
was trying to get out of your screen.
Weird. So yeah, my eyes must be failing me. I didn't
My
even see
eyes are
those things.
terrible, Mr.
All right.
Hartley.
Yeah,
We
this
need
is
to
what
do
I
an
get for
eye
working
exam.
on a smaller screen. I just had an eye exam not too long ago. All right, let's get back. Can you export the list to Excel? Of course you can. Go to AU or go to XCon. You can still go to AU, but go to XCon, and Doug's going to talk all about that, where you can use your exports, take your summary, kick it over to an XML or a CSV, which opens up in Excel, and then you can do all sorts of weird things.
I highly recommend attending Doug's show for estimating.
Yep, that's
The
going to
Doug
be.
show.
Isn't that going to be streamed too? Is there an XCon Anywhere stream part? I don't remember.
There was a question about from Ed. Is there a way to? He was saying if someone sends them an updated PDF set, yes, you can export. So the question is, can you export markups from one PDF to the next to you, Mr. Hartley?
Yes, you can. So if I export all these markups, this might not be a good example because I don't know if I can, if I have a blank version of this, but it's going to export as a BAX file. So I can say, here's my electrical takeoff. If I were smart about it, I would do a date. Now those are exported. Now, if I go open up a different file, and I think this one can be found somewhere in my Bluebeam plan set. Oh, electrical plan?
Maybe.
Look at that. So here's the raw version of that same file, right? If we go to the markups list, there's nothing there. Notice my columns though. This is what I wanted to show, how they change between the drawings. So these are even different, technically the same file, different names, but the columns are way wacky. But there's nothing in here. Now I can go to markups list, markups, import, go find that BAX file. BAX file, that was electrical. What? Take modified. Did I not put it in
You're
there?
not on desktop. You're on C drive. There you go. Yeah.
Was it on my desktop?
Oh, I don't know. I'm
Oh,
confused.
boy.
It says your
boy.
C drive, but you click desktop.
Oh, let's just come on now. It doesn't take long. We'll hit export. I was going to plan set. That's where it was.
So, and it doesn't need to be a BAX file either. For those folks that are looking, you can have either or. This is just, it's specifically exporting the markups. You can bring it in from an old PDF set to the next too.
Correct. So let's highlight that a little bit more. When you go export your markups, they can be an FDF or a BAX, but when you import your markups, right? When you import those markups, it will allow you to do a PDF, an XML, a BAX, or an FDF. So you could just grab a whole PDF and it will bring in all of those markups. So be careful with that. FDF, isn't that forms data format? Something like that? Sounds convincing.
I don't know. You hit the nail on the head there, maybe?
So someone want to Google that real quick?
I will. Yeah. Was that a hint, nod?
So yeah, let me jump over here to my electrical takeoff BBX file that I just exported. Now, what's going to happen when I do this?
Forms data format.
This is where we need like a poll. It was forms data format?
Yeah.
Look
Is that
at
what you
me.
guessed?
Yeah, I did it. High five.
I'm late on that one. I didn't leave you hanging though.
But yeah, there we go. So that's your forms data. So here's the question. What's going to happen to my columns when I import this? Will it bring over the custom columns from that other one, or will it just bring in the count data? Anybody?
There's a hand raised.
I think Chris just wanted in on the high five.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm assuming it is. Will it? Oh, inquiring minds want to know. Here we go. So subject, count, area, volume, page level. There's nothing in here that's custom.
And you're not changing the profile either, right?
Nope. All I'm going to do is import the markups from my electrical takeoff drawing.
But hold on. What's the difference from doing this versus the standard PDF? So we should rerun it back with exporting and importing from a PDF.
I don't know what the difference would be. Do you know the difference?
No, that's why I'm asking.
Okay. Well, that's what we're here to do, boys and girls. This is what we love to do. So let's find out. I'm going to hit open. Watch up columns. They didn't change. Okay.
But what about bringing it in from the PDF?
Hold on. Yeah, there is no custom columns that came with it. Spaces didn't even come with it.
Because custom columns are saved to the PDF or the profile.
Correct.
So what? So what if you bring it in as a PDF?
Yeah, I'm thinking this might be the better workflow because look at this. It's kind of a mess. Nothing is organized the way I like it. I mean, you can do some stuff, but it didn't give me all of the information that I was after. No custom columns. Okay, let's
do the same process where you close this electrical level
there. We undid it. I'm going to go back to this one. I'm going to save it.
See your desktop. Yeah.
We always tell it can be saved because you're missing the asterisk there.
Did you save it to your desktop though, or did you overwrite it?
I overwrote it. That's fine. It had problems anyway.
Oh man.
Well, I'll start over. I ain't scared. All right. But where did I put it is the better question. Imperial plan set. Oh crap. Uh-oh. What do we do when we don't know where our file is? We come up to the top, we right click. We don't have to hover over that, but we can copy that path. Or we can export that document folder and it will open up, ta-da, right there. So we'll jump back over here. I want to import that entire PDF's markups over here. So we'll go import.
Remember where that was?
I did until you questioned me. It's looking for a BAX. I'm going to say it's a PDF, and we're going to find under plan set, electrical takeoff right here. Save this morning. Now, same thing, same exercise. Watch this, and we'll hit open. Watch what happens to the markups list. Nothing.
Did you have custom columns in that first one?
I sure did. Now, it didn't have data tied to it, though. Right?
What if it did?
What if it did? How would we even do that? So let's dive back in.
Hit undo, back though, because I want to see if it does it.
Okay. So let's go back. Rewind. Our custom columns, so the cost estimate one that I have here, did not come with these markups. But at the same time, this custom column didn't have data in it. So what we're going to do is add data to this column, which gets us back on track. If you go to markups list and go to columns, there's a number of columns that may or may not be checked depending on which profile you are in, as well as what PDF you are on. Cost estimate is one that you don't have. That is a custom one. And once it's created a custom, then you can see the check marks. But let's see, page index, we don't care. Lock, we don't care. Check mark, yeah. These are all fine. Length measurement. Let's go manage columns. If you go all the way down to the bottom, you'll have your manage columns. And then there's custom columns. You will not see this if you're in a studio session. But in here, I have my custom columns, and I've created one for material, and I've created one for cost estimate. I don't remember what this was, so I'm going to go to modify. Oh, I did area times material. That's not what I want. I want count times material. Currency.
Yeah. And the great
decimal.
thing about these columns or formulas is that they suggest things. So your variables are existing.
Right.
Makes it easier for you.
Oh, these are, I don't want these. Let's just start over. Material. This really shouldn't be material. It should be object or subject.
Symbol or
what's a better name for this? If I wanted to make one for GFCI and big outlet and electrical
the
outlets.
electrical fixtures, fittings, electrical
Where's Sheldon? Fixtures,
electrical utilities. I'm going to go electrical fixtures.
Okay. So I'm just going to do a couple of these. Thanks, Sheldon. GFCI.
So what's the difference between not having a subject and having a subject?
These are 165. If I don't put in a subject, if I neglect to put in a subject, I will be able to assign GFCI to anything. If I say that this is electrical, I can only assign GFCI to something electrical that has a subject that matches. I didn't set this up right. I'm going to leave it blank. And I'm going to say these are $1.65 a piece, randomly guessing. And
so what you're saying is if the subject is there, I will only have the choice for whatever that subject is.
Correct.
Can you have multiple subject names in the subject? Because if you want to have multiple choices for multiple subjects, could you do that?
I don't know. Can you?
No. Tried that. Doesn't work.
Cool.
Yeah.
Quad outlet. Yeah. Comma. Oh. Yeah, it's not going to work. But good idea. TV connections. Oh, those are got to be 268. And I'll do one more. Just make it quick. Quad. These are 359 on sale at Menards. All right. So I've added a dollar figure to these, and I've called it electrical fixtures. This still won't work because my cost estimate needs to go back. It's not looking for material. Count times electrical fixtures. See, that variable that I just created is now selectable. So now it will say, oh, look, I found 39 GFCIs, and the GFCI has a known cost, right? Because we have it in here of 165, and it's going to multiply them for me based upon my asterisk there, right? So we'll hit OK. And nothing happened. Why? Why did nothing happen there? The cost estimate should have taken in this count.
Was it by a choice?
Choice? No.
So you did a cost estimate. Where'd the cost value go?
It was in electrical fixtures. Oh,
Did you assign it?
I didn't assign it. So I made these, right? But I didn't tell them what this is. It doesn't actually need to be that. There isn't a column for, where's my electrical fixtures? See,
It's all
gotta
in
go
the
find
right.
it. Gotta go find it. Aha. There we go. Seems like I shouldn't need to do this though. Seems like it should pull this in without me having to tell it what it is. Right?
You do that. But I'm assuming you're just talking like that because
yeah,
you know you're gonna be able to do it.
I kind of did it.
Setting yourself up.
Way.
Yeah.
Not so great way. But again, I can quad outlet. We can merge these counts, but I'm going to leave these separate because they're in different areas, right? GFCI. I didn't create one for those. It's not there. Big outlet. I did do.
And this would be a great way to not have to, because the other way would be cost and then a total cost column. The issue with that is you can't have multiple varying in terms of, well, no, it'd be the same because the issue would be a cost total when you couldn't get the same cost total for length and area. You'd have to have a different cost total. Right. Maybe, and I never thought of this because I just started doing a lot of if then statements in Revit. You could do an if then statement, if blank, nothing, if something, show value for this, because then you could do a cost value for length and area and not have to create two cost totals for each measurement. Is that confusing?
Totally.
Okay.
You said
You're
Revit
just shaking your
out.
head.
You said Revit and I tuned out. You know how it works. But in here, what I ended up having to do was I had to tell the TV connection that, hey, you're a TV connection and you have a dollar figure. Doug's asking, can we write the formula so it could be equal to subject? I think we can. Let's go find out. But there's going to be a limitation to this, which we will discover here in just a minute. So the cost estimate, let's wipe this out. If we told it subject is not an option. So we only have so many variables. So I know that I have a count and I want to multiply times what? If I have to click on any letter, this will tell me what I can do. So tangent, log, floor, ceiling, pi. There's no if, there's no than, there's no
Well, you
subject.
could probably still write an if then statement. So I'm wondering if we do. So this is the issue. This is what I'm talking about. So you have a cost estimate that's going to be count times length, count times area, or cost times area, right? You can't do multiple ones because this would be cost estimate just for the single one, right? And then if you'd have to do another cost total estimate for something. Yeah. I'm thinking an if value equals this, then this is what it is. But then if not, then it's 0. That's why I'm thinking I'm going to have to do some expression figuring to maybe I create an expression list for folks because that would be a great idea.
The chat is saying that if then statements do not work in Revu and you can only do one expression per column. I don't know.
Why wouldn't they let if then statements work?
Yeah, that broke all of them. Oh, you know what? What do we do if we wish Revu did something that it doesn't do?
Request a feature.
That's right. Interesting. If you needed to do something crazy like this, if you needed to do something that was a little bit more formula friendly, you could always kick this out to Excel if you have Revu Extreme.
Well, that's kind of where my mindset was going, that maybe the point is to do light formula-based items in here. And if you want the full feature, then go to Excel.
So those in Revu Extreme will have the ability to use quantity link, which you will not find here in Revu. You will find it over in Excel land.
Will quantity link still be a feature of Revu 21?
Somewhere.
Just in one of the editions, right?
It won't be an Extreme. I'll tell you that much.
Ooh, David, that's not logical. I would agree. Can't do if then statements in Revu. And let's see what else.
I thought I started a spreadsheet in here. That's not where we really want to go today anyway, but just for you, I'll do it.
So my Excel always, it's like a broken record. I have to always repair my Excel link in my files. So when Microsoft 365, I always have to go and repair it for quantity link to show up.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
Sounds like I should upgrade it to Windows 11.
Yeah, I'm going to ignore what you said right there and move on to a question that David asked. Could you provide multiple expression in the same sequence, area times price plus? Oh, let's go back and try it. That's what we do here. But here in Excel, here in Excel, you can go over here, quantity link. If you have Extreme, create, go find that file, go tie to it. It will pull these values right out of Revu, and it will update in real time.
Only measurement values, though.
Only measurement values. So there's that. We're done here. I'm having a good day. I don't want to ruin it by getting into Excel. That's Doug's world. I got to go learn from Doug, and then we're going to find out after XCon what sort of Excel magician I can be. All right. How's that?
So David, custom columns, had a question. Can you do that? Bless you.
I had a sneeze coming and I didn't have the words to describe that. All right. So could we do multiple expressions in the same sequence? We can go try this. I don't think it's going to work. But
yeah, I think I'm in the same mindset of Vince. Vince thinks that if one of the values is blank, the result is blank.
Right. So
that's why I was hoping if then statements would work, which is a complete bummer that they're not enabled for expressions. And maybe that's why, because it's an expression.
Right. And so like I can do area, right? And I can do I don't have a cost one. Area times electrical. That doesn't. All right, let's cheat. Let's cheat the system here. This one, I've done this same exercise for areas and materials. So this will work the same, different file. So my formula here is area times material. And then we're saying plus length. Times material. Something like that. So if I had a length of concrete, let's say, for example, will these be blanked out? Because I think that's what Vince is going to say. You guys got a side bet going? Moment of truth. Oh, okay. Hold up.
We need a length measurement.
Okay. There's my length measurement. That material, since my length material does not have a subject, I can assign this to anything. No cost.
I'm assuming the other one worked because they were already there first. Well, there's no cost value assigned to polished concrete. Hold on. There's something different.
No. Okay. David thinks we need some parentheses here. Could be.
Parenthesize. Let's see it.
So something like that. Or does it use these, or does it use the other type of brackets?
You're going to need brackets overall too, probably. Yeah.
One step at a time.
Okay.
Nothing. Okay. Oh.
They wanted to do brackets. It probably doesn't want a long string of items for it, right?
Yeah. Wasn't it this type of bracket?
No, it's the
squiggle ones.
Bracket. No.
Oh, it's those. This is what we do. We experiment. We learn. Learning is fun. Oh. Area times material. What do you mean? That works fine without brackets.
I'm saying a bracket overall, but the brackets were removed anyways. So I'm assuming that it won't allow you to do long formula based expressions. One thing is do not need to use measurement tools.
Oh, instead of a length measurement.
Okay, so use something different. So you're saying poly length. So make a poly length.
Poly length measurement, material, tile, nothing.
But yeah, I guess it still shows length. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's still the same one. You're good.
But I have no area. This is true. But I have length, right? So length, it should be multiplying length times that.
Yeah. And just like Vince is saying, since one's blank, it's going to always show up blank.
Right.
Coming back full circle, as I'm sure all of us have found out that you can't do multiple ones, unfortunately. That's why I was saying it would be great if you could do if-then statements, because currently right now, you'd have to create a total cost per whatever type of measurement feature you wanted, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, okay, wait a minute. Hold on. We might have to make a different one. I should have copied that. Hang on. Add a new one. Linear cost. Man. Linear cost. Formula. Material. Times length. Currency to boom, boom. Oh, it's over here. So here, I wonder if we could do one that would take, we have an area cost, linear cost, and then add those together for total cost. See what I'm saying? I wonder
see what you're saying, but
wonder
that's again coming down to it being two separate ones. And that's kind of one of those things where is Revu going in that direction where it wants to use the power of the markups list more than single expression lists, I guess. We'll find out in the future when Revu 21 is released. See if there's any updates to these options. Or is it just meant to, you know, if we are power users using Excel or Power Query or things like in that realm to export our data out?
I mean, there's a lot of people doing some amazing things with this software when it comes to estimating, and I'm sure that they're kind of laughing at me struggling through these similar, basic formulas. But I think you're on the right track. It's got to allow more robust formulas in here to keep people in this software and not go over to Excel.
Yeah,
right? Not go over to anything else.
I would hope, right? And how much on the back end for the dev team would it be to update it to multi-list expressions and Oleander values?
So it's a little silly that what we came up with is because some objects have a linear cost, some have an area cost, and then I just created a formula that adds those two together, right? But you're not always going to see those together. So here I have them, they're added, but there shouldn't be a linear cost here.
Yeah,
because there is a length, because there is a length times width is area, right? And it's taking that value here. This cost estimate is no good.
Yep. And this is the issue I've had with another client where I did the same workflow. And what we had to do is create a custom export. So it just doesn't show that column for that specific markup, which is unfortunate. So that's, and coming back full circle, that this is the same issue that arose, and kind of why I was asking and hoping that if then statements would work, is because then you can say if no value or if value, right, X don't show. But that ability to kind of manipulate it in what we're doing is definitely kind of further down the road of what maybe some folks have ever seen the capabilities of Revu offer. We're definitely more in those deep end of the pool versus the shallow end of just, hey, we didn't know it could even make a markup and take it to cost total of something, right? We're kind of trying to get the best of both worlds and get a ton of information out of one segment. But I think we should all here at some point go to the help, make a suggestion. The more we get, the more it is heard.
And I could totally, the wheels are turning a little bit. Remember how we had neglected the subject here? I can make this match polylength measurement. I can make that be something that would separate these lengths from the actual length measurements. So that can be done. It's more than we want to get into right now, but you can get in here, you can do crazy things. And then as you've seen before, export this to Excel, either raw if you don't have Extreme, or if you do have Extreme, you can take some of this data over to Quantity Link, right? And then that's where you'll see folks like Doug talking about power queries and Excel and all sorts of weird things at XCon coming up in August.
XCon's going to be great. I highly recommend attending, Doug, and other shows. I know there's some good ones out there and taking a list. Like Vince said, though, there are a lot of other great things from Excel that you would want to use. And I don't disagree. Getting more into Excel and learning the power of what it offers, I'm kind of more not just intrigued, but the possibilities aren't endless, but they are significant to make the leap and start learning Excel, which, by the way, if any of you are partners with us here at ATG, we do offer global e-training, and that is part of the free global e-training you get just for purchasing your software through us and becoming partners with ATG. So if you do want to learn more about Excel, not just at XCon with Doug, you can also, if you're partners with us at ATG, you get access to global e-training, which has Excel training in it.
And it's pretty good.
Hey, that's my boat right there.
This is where we're going to do
Jason and I are arriving in on the boat, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're going to meet up in
notes,
Cancun.
Carrie. Let's get a boat.
Yeah. We'll just meet in Cancun and then we'll take a boat and that will be our thing. We'll do our MCR from a yacht.
Let's do it.
So that's where we'll be. If you have any interest in going to that miserable looking place, these dates coming up here, there's going to be some fun things going on here. Lots of good classes. Some of these classes are pretty darn impressive. Where's it at? So you can build your agenda. There's all sorts of stuff in here. Some
what
clever titles. Look at that. Look at this one right here. Look at that.
Doug, there's Doug.
Look at that. So business transformation. You're going to be able to go to XCon. Yes, we're going to have some fun. Yes, we're going to learn some stuff. But more importantly, you're going to be able to take valuable nuggets back home with you to your office and be able to share those and make your firms more efficient. So there we go. The first class in the morning. Doug, you're so lucky. You get to get yours over with, and then you get to coast the rest of the time.
Yeah, when's ours?
That's a long class. Holy moly. Oh, Scott's amazing.
Scott is the BCI aficionado, or he's the BCI maker.
Yeah.
Guess that's better.
So yeah, there's lots of good stuff in here. We go right before lunch on the second day is when we go. So not first thing in the morning, which will be okay. But tips and tricks session with fun and games. Come on now.
Review Jeopardy. Where is ours?
We're right here. Look at us building community around Bluebeam.
Whoa.
And space planning tool. Like there's amazing stuff in here. And I know some of the stuff is going to be case studies, right? Here's how we've proven how we've made this work, made the solution work for here, city of Seattle. But everybody on the call today and even watching in the future on YouTube can probably relate to something that they've learned on MCR or just playing with the software or in some job that has made your life better. So,
and on that
pretty
note,
awesome.
We do and will appreciate anyone that posts anything they've learned on social with us and tagging ATG, myself, or
just
Jason
morning
Harley,
coffee review
or MCR.
Yeah.
Right. Hashtag MCR, hashtag morning coffee review. Because it helps us, helps out building the community, getting more folks in, and showing what you've all learned possibly here on the morning coffee review. So shout outs are welcomed and encouraged.
Of course. And yeah, everyone will need some coffees to be fully awake for watching Doug's thing. Not first thing in the morning, it is after the keynote, but this XCon does start on a Tuesday. And what do we do on Tuesdays? We'll be well caffeinated because we're going to do MCR live from XCon, some way, shape, or form. Still making sure that my yacht will be cleaned and up to my standards. But we're going to have some fun there.
You may be able to catch us out there or watch us live, either one. Maybe you could, I envision folks looking for us, like, where's Waldo, as they're watching live MCR to figure out where we are location wise.
Yeah. Yeah. I know DJ CJ's got some good ideas, and I talked to Justin, who also needs a clever nickname as well. But yeah, David, we'll do it live. I wish I could repeat that without making editing go crazy, but you ever hear that thing, Michael? I'll have to send it to you.
What?
Who was it? It was some talk show news guy. I can picture his face. Thankfully, can't remember his name. Where he's really upset about having his cue cards messed up, and he's like, "Screw it, we'll do it live." I'll find it. I'll send it.
I don't remember that.
Everything's
always live though with this. We don't ever. The only thing we plan out are topics and titles.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's all live, and margin for error is high.
Yeah, that's what we do.
The margin for fun is even there. It's even higher. So we're all for it.
Live on the edge. So yeah, how to create
off the cuff.
So yeah, XCon's going to be fun. AU is going to be fun. We're looking forward to some high fives and coffees and happy hours and all those things. And
we're excited to meet everybody, I think. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Say hi. Get to meet everyone face to face, share some coffee, some ideas, high five in real life, and just see everyone from the community. We may have some cool things gathering wise. We don't know yet in the future for XCon, but we'll know more once our team gets together and puts what we find out for XCon. So
yeah.
Either way, Jason and I will be there on our yacht, and you can all join on and say hello and get some coffee.
Exactly. And I think Doug's got room in his car. He's going to be driving down the West Coast. So you can just get a thumb out and might get a ride. Actually, that sounds kind of fun. We can just road trip too. That's fine by me.
I want a road trip. We can road trip in your van.
I'm so jonesing for a road trip.
What if we did a road trip morning coffee review around the US of A? Hey, we could even make a stop in Canada. Doing some live sessions.
That would be fun. Just pull up to Doug's place. Yeah. They have a convince your boss template on the pricing page. Oh, I know AU used to do this and it was awesome. Oh, look at this.
No way.
Good call, David. So as we wrap up, this will be our final notes. Download this template. Oh, it even opens up in the PDF. Dear whomever, please let me go to XCon. Has nothing to do with happy hours and free coffees. Look at that. I mean, it's perfect. There you go. Doug's session, our session, and then pick one other one. That's all you need to do. And then, yeah, just absolutely brilliant.
It is.
So Airbnb. All right. I'm going to go down that rabbit hole. We've got lots of rabbit holes to go down. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next week. Everybody stay safe and take care.